Not all hurt is loud. Sometimes it's the things they never do that cut the deepest. Hi, this is Terry Clark from faithandfed.org, and welcome to my vlog on relationships God's way. So today we're going to cover part 3 in our discussions on toxic relationships that everybody needs to avoid. This week is about toxic relationships who fail to show love through action, neglect, broken promises, and lack of support. It's about invisible damage. So let's get into it. Let's talk about 5 toxic relationships, how they affect you, and what you can do to spot them. The first type of toxic relationship you need to be on the lookout for is the ghost helper. They're always making promises to help out, but they're always too busy. And then they expect for you to show up for them, even though they are never there for you. Relationships have a currency to them. Our relationships need to be about reciprocity. You need to be able to get things from your relationship just like you're giving things to your relationship. And the ghost helper is deadly. They'll drain you, bankrupt you, get things from you, and they will never show any reciprocity. They will never give you any return on your investment. Now, don't get me wrong, relationships are not transactional. They do have a currency to them. The currency of relationships is love, support and encouragement. And you need that from your relationships. Ghost helpers will always leave you abandoned and feeling haunted. Number 2 on our list, the promise breaker. These are folks that are going to come in, they're going to wow you, they're going to make a bunch of promises, tell you all the great things they're going to do, and they never deliver. So life is about expectations and being able to follow through and meet deadlines and goals. And the most important thing that we can all do and understand is that we have an assignment from God, and our relationships are supposed to help us make that assignment. So anytime you've got people on the roster and they're not helping you meet the assignment that God has given to you, then that's going to be a problem. Promise breakers, not only do they not follow through on their promises and break their promises, but they also prevent you from going on to other people who will make promises and who will be ride or die and who you can count on to deliver. Third on our list is the bare minimum person. They do just enough to keep you from complaining and just enough to mount up an argument when you say they're not doing enough. So these types of people are always going to leave you thirsty, always going to leave you hungry, always going to have you in a situation where you're incomplete. So we need to be mindful of these types of people as well. They're going to do just enough to get by. You don't really want to be in any kind of relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's friendship, whether it's an intimate relationship, or even with family members that you're counting on to help you get across the finish line, that you're counting on to help you do your best, and they're just doing a bare minimum. They're just doing marginal type of things. So those types of relationships you want to stay away from as well. They'll always leave you short of the finish line. Number 4 on our list is the oblivious relationship. With the oblivious relationship, they don't seem to notice when you're struggling, when things are going wrong, when you need help and when you need support. These are the people that you're going to always have to tell to do something, and they're never going to do anything unless you tell them, unless you say, hey, listen, I need a ride. Can you give me a ride? Now, they know your car's broken down, but they're not going to say anything. They're just going to sit there and talk to you like somehow you're going to walk 30 miles to work. They know that your lights got turned off. They're even sitting in your house while the lights are turned off, and they're not offering to help any. They're like oblivious to everything. It's like, where's Waldo? These type of people you just really don't need around you as well, because you've got to really go out your way to communicate with them, micromanaging them and getting them to do their part in the relationship, because relationships are about reciprocity. They are about giving and taking. And even though a relationship is not a transaction, there is some transactions that go on in relationships. We have to support and encourage and help each other when we're in relationships. That's why we relate to each other. If you don't really need a fan base or an audience just to be sitting there watching you while you're working hard. If somebody wants to just sign up for that, you don't need that. And you definitely don't need anybody on the roster, on the team, that's that kind of person. So you definitely want to stay away from the oblivious relationships, because they're always going to be oblivious to what's going on. And finally, the fifth type of toxic relationship you need to be worried about is the selective giver. Okay, so this type of person is always giving selectively, and they're giving with a motive in mind. Okay, so they'll help you with something because they got planned for you to help them with something. Okay, that relationship, that type of interaction is always going to be, they'll hand you $5 only to get 10 back from you. So you're always going to be upside down with those types of people. So you want to definitely stay away from selective givers as well. Okay. So those are the 5 types of toxic relationships that we need to be watching out for. We need to be watching out for the ghost helper, number 1. Number 2, the promise breaker. Number 3, the bare minimum partner. Number 4, the oblivious relationship. And finally, number 5, the selective giver. All of these relationships have the same thing in common. They're never going to give you what you need. Okay? And when you're relating to other people, you need people to be stepping up, doing their part, and going beyond the call of duty. Okay? They need to be acting because they love you, and it needs to be an act of love. And love bears all, endures all. Love just gives all. These types of people are going to always be marginal and minimum at best. Finally, love is about not just words and touch and intimacy, but it's also about effort. Okay? And you deserve to have someone in your life that's going to be all in, that is going to be trying to do everything they can to support and help you. Okay? Relationships have the ability to create heaven or hell on earth. Be mindful of the type of relationships that you're getting into and the type of people that you're connecting to, because it really is going to impact the life you live and the experiences that you have. If someone is constantly showing you that you're not worth the effort, then believe them. Actions always speak louder than words.